Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sew a single welt pocket. This can be put on the front of a shirt or the back of a trouser, any one you like. Before we start the sewing, you have to prepare some things down. First, you're going to cut a pocket, an inside pocket of 20 inches by 8 inches. Folded, it is 10 inches by 8 inches. But next, on your cloth gum or hairstay, you're going to cut out 8 inches by 4 inches. Our main material for this tutorial is this silver like material, and you're going to cut out the same 8 inches by 4 inches, and you're going to gum the back side of it with a cloth gum or hairstay. And here we have the main material that has our dart. This is all that you need. We're going to get straight into the tutorial now. I've turned the material to the back of the dart, and we're going to mark 1 inch up from where the dart ends, and I'm going to do the same thing for the front as well. With the material turned to the back, we're going to take our cloth gum and we're going to fold it into 4. Please don't iron this, and we're just going to find the middle and place that middle on that 1 inch of the dart. Now you iron it. Now our cloth gum has been ironed down. Next, taking our pocket, we're going to place that where the cloth gum is, and we're just going to sew on the edges on those two sides. We're not stitching it down, just running it. That has been stitched down. Next, we're going to turn our fabric over and we're going to start the main work here. Next, taking our silver material that has cloth gum at the back, we're going to fold it into 4. Please iron this part down, and we're going to notch the middle to give us exactly where the middle is, and also to give us lines to show us exactly where we're going to sew. As you can see, our material has been ironed down and it has given us those ironed lines, and we're just going to notch that middle, and then we're going to place it on that 1 inch in front. For precision, we're going to use pins to hold it down so that we don't make any mistakes. For the length of our pocket, it is completely 5.5 inches and half of it is 2.75 inches. So from that middle point, we're going to mark both sides 2.75 inches. I'm going to zoom it in so that you can see well. Next, taking my measuring tape on that middle line, I'm going to mark half of an inch on the top, because the space between the two lines is going to be half an inch. So literally half of an inch is going to be our measurement upwards. As you can see, the space between the two lines is half an inch, and next we're just going to stitch they're going to be parallel stitch lines. I've stitched the both lines, and as you can see, they are parallel lines, they are not connected. Next, taking our measuring tape, at the end of the both stitches, we're going to mark 1 inch on both sides. Remember, before we place this 8x4 fabric on our main fabric, we ironed it down and it gave us some iron lines. So on those iron lines, we're just going to cut across it in between those two stitch lines. We're not cutting the stitches, we're cutting in between. We're going to use those iron lines as our guide. As you can see, our 8x4 material has been cut open. I did not cut the main fabric. Next, we're going to fold that middle point of the material, and we're just going to notch it a little just to create a hole for our scissors to pass through so that we can cut the main fabric. Now at this part you have to take it very slow and be precise. Remember we marked that 1 inch before the stitches. Now we're going to cut the main fabric and we're going to put our scissors into the main fabric and stop at that 1 inch mark. At that 1 inch mark exactly, we're going to make a triangle to meet the edges of the stitch. Like I said, you have to be very slow and be precise. I've cut it and this is what our main material looks like. Don't forget I didn't cut the 8x4 material, I cut the main fabric, that triangle spot, and we're going to do the same thing on the second side. As you can see, both sides have been cut open. Next we're going to be turning that 8x4 material to the other side, to the back of the material. This is where you determine how your welt is going to come out. This to come out as a single welt, that turned 8x4 fabric, the top, you're going to fold it completely upwards, while for the second layer of the 8x4 fabric you're going to fold it in to cover completely that space, that ½ inch space of the pockets. It's very simple. You just take that top completely up and you take the lower one to just cover up that pocket space, that ½ inch pocket space, and by the time you turn it over you see that you basically have your single welt. Now that you have that arranged, we're going to take it to the ironing board and we're just going to iron it. I've ironed everything down. See how flat it looks. Let me turn it to the back so that you see how the back looks as well. As you can see, that top layer is completely folded to get to the edge, while the second layer is just folded to cover that pocket space, and that's what makes it a single welt. Next we're going to be covering up our pocket. Now remember that triangle that we created. What we're going to do is we're going to stitch it down to our 8x4 material. We're not stitching it down to the actual material so that it just remains and stays flat. As you can see, I've stitched that down on the 8x4 material. We're not stitching down on the main material like I said, so it's not going to show on the front. Next we're going to be taking out those stitches so that we can completely close up the pockets. Now the stitches have been loosened, we're going to turn our material over, and next we're going to fold our main pocket, the yellow material. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what to do when your inside pocket doesn't match your main fabric. We can't have when someone opens the pocket they're seeing a different fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a strip about the same 4 inches by 8 inches and we're going to sew it on that yellow material. I'm just going to mark where I have the likelihood of the pocket opening to be. Next, taking that strip, I'm going to sew it on that marked point of the inner pocket. Now that has been sewn, I'm just going to turn it over. I'm going to place that sewn part on where the pocket opening is, and I'm going to turn it over for you to see how the front is going to look like. Now you can see that it's the material that is showing, not that inside yellow pocket. With that being the waist of our trouser, we're going to take the full length of our pocket and match it to where the waist is, and then at that folded point we're going to notch it to let us know where exactly we're going to be closing it up from. From that notch edge, we're going to turn it over and then stitch it down on both sides to make sure that the edges are on the inside of the pocket. So just on that straight line, that's where we're going to be sewing. The edges have been sewn, so I'm going to turn it over for you to see what it should look like. This is what the inside of your pocket should look like. Just for extra stitching, if you're not going to be weaving the inside, we're going to just stitch down again, not on the fabric, on just the pocket on both sides, and just completely close up the edges. And next we're going to seal up that top. We don't want someone putting their hand inside the pocket and bringing out all those rough edges. So like I said, we're going to be closing up on the pocket itself, not on the fabric, on the yellow material, not the silver material. Every other rough edge as well should just be folded up and sealed up. As you can see, everywhere has been closed up. Every rough edge, including the ends of the inside pocket, has been closed up. And here you have it, our single welt pocket, our inside pocket with a single flap. Everywhere has been sealed up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you did, please like, share and comment. If you love to see how to sew a front pocket of a trouser, please let me know in the comment section. If you love to see more pocket designs, drop it in the comment section. I will definitely put that out. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.